Today we're talking about why the journey is the joy. The moon is in Sagittarius today, bringing that spirit of adventure. And the Sagittarius moon asks us to think about that energy of the archer, where we want to aim our sights at something that really excites us. And so thinking about that bigger picture of the goal, the destination, what it is we are imagining, and then letting ourselves really just enjoy the journey, because that ultimately is what it's about. We don't know what comes at the end of the journey until the journey is over, and then the journey's over, right? I'm Marina Ormes here with your Astro vibe for Thursday, September 21st. And with today's moon in Sagittarius, we are building on the energy of the Scorpio moon that was from earlier this week. The moon is waxing, it's getting bigger, starting to grow from that Virgo new moon that happened about a week ago. And as that moon comes more into light, right, is revealing more of herself, we have this development, this moving forward through the cycle, through the moon cycle that we are building on, that is has a theme of self-improvement and being of service to the greater good. Some of that good Virgo humility that allows us to get better and be the best, not because we want to be the best or we want to win, but because we want to work hard to keep making things better. And so the humility of Virgo allows us to observe, right? To notice what could be improved upon, what needs to be fixed, how something could be better. So it's a learning process, and it's a willingness, right, to see where we could do something better. With the energy of the moon in Sagittarius, we're Sagittarius and Virgo are both mutable signs. So as we reach the end of the moon's journey through Sagittarius tomorrow, we form that first quarter moon. So we're building the growing moon. The waxing moon is the energy of building. So we're being active. We are trying things, we're implementing, we're starting new things and putting things out there, being proactive as we move forward. Of course, we are doing that in the context of all 5 outer planets being retrograde, which I talked about in a previous video. And so with the outer planets being retrograde, we are doing some deeper inner work, but with the moon cycle, we are moving forward. So we're moving forward on the inner work, right? That's how that works. And with that, with the moon in Sagittarius, we have some emphasis on the energy of travel, of a journey, of having an adventure, of it's like getting outside of the comfort zone, but not just the comfort zone, getting outside of the ordinary, whatever it is that we are used to. Sometimes we have to get outside of that to get a perspective of what other choices we have, what other possibilities are out there. How do other people do things? What else is going on in the world? Some of those questions, and you can't discover the answer to some of those questions without having the experience. So Sagittarius says, go have the experience. This is not about controlling every little detail. It is about what there is out there for you to discover. And so just the same way you go on a trip and you have your itinerary planned out, maybe you have your hotel booked for every night, or you have this plan, right, of what it is you're going to do. But then when you go, the whole point is that you go to have the experience, and you can't have the experience if everything goes according to plan. right? You have to, it's the experience of things happening that you don't expect. That is what is so magic about travel. So there, and that can be both good and bad, right? Maybe you went on, you got a stomach bug on your trip. Like, that's no fun, but you wouldn't, you also don't get the most amazing sunset you've ever seen, from the top of the mountain over the whatever it is, it's like when you let yourself go, have that experience, you are opening the door to new information, I guess, right? It's new input being impacted by those experiences, by what the world has for you to receive. So the energy of Sagittarius is a reminder that we have to go and we have to do things and we have to put ourselves out there to have the experience, but also to open ourselves to the possibilities that are out there that we couldn't be aware of, that we weren't considering before. We didn't think of it. We didn't sit there and go, okay, I'm planning, to go here, and I'm gonna I'm at 8 o'clock. I'm going to be on top of the mountain, and the sun is going to set, and it's going to be the most incredible colors that I've ever seen. Those are the things we don't plan, right? That's exactly why it's magic, because we didn't plan it. Or that person that you met on that trip that you came into your life who was not there before, and you could not have met that person had you not gone to that place. And you didn't go to that place to meet that person. You went to the place because your heart was calling you, or because it seemed like a good deal, or whatever the reason was, is not it's not why you were there, really, right? Okay. So the journey, the adventure, is the process by which we get those doors opened. And that's the vibe of today. It's some kind of journey, but even just bringing it closer to home, right? It's going to have some experience that you didn't plan on, being present for that, being in the moment of when those doors are going to open, allowing them to be open, putting yourself in the right place at the right time, which again is not something you control. It's something you listen to. So it's like, no, I have to go do this today or whatever, right? Like just that feeling of following, trusting your impulses to go do something, to put yourself out there. And it can even be like, doesn't even have to be going somewhere. Often it is, usually it is, but it could even just be, buying something on the internet that like brings some new energy into your life, or signing up for a class that takes you someplace, in your mind you haven't gone before. So lots of different ways we can align with that. But the journey itself is the joy, and it's the bigger picture of, having the ability to imagine some of these visions or outcomes, or what it is we want to see, what we want for our lives, what we want for the world. It's the ability to imagine those possibilities that allows our hearts to be open to following these invitations, these open doors. So opening our hearts, opening to possibility, not from a place of control, or I have to have this, or it has to be this way, but more from a place of, you know what, I don't know what there is out there for me to discover, but I'm willing to have an amazing experience. And maybe you have a sense of what that might feel like for you, or what feels important. And it could even be for the world, like, who knows what solutions we could discover tomorrow that we didn't know about yesterday. So letting ourselves be on that journey and allowing that journey to do what it's there to do, which is to awaken our hearts and minds to the possibilities that we haven't considered yet. That's what I've got for you today. Why the journey is the joy. I'm Marina Ormes. You can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you so much for your support. And I am here every day with astrology for unshakable self-care. So come back and get a little hit every day of what the planets are doing and how you can make the most of it, to have a little boost in your day and support your self-care. All right. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.